Hi, I'm Alex Goody, your resident spirit guide here at RBG, and welcome to another exciting edition of The Quick Pour.
The Quick Pour.
Where we don't just sell, we sell smarter. Still working on the trademark, but I think legal is ghosting me. The aim of The Quick Pour is to equip you with elite sales insights, tips, and tricks in a very brief but hopefully entertaining way. Today we're talking about one of the most historic drinking occasions of the year. I am talking about the Kentucky Derby. First run in 1875 at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, the Derby is the longest continuously run sporting event in the United States. And the only one where the hats are legally required to be bigger than the horses. There's going to be a few more horse jokes. The race itself only lasts about 2 minutes, which means most people spend hours drinking just to get emotionally invested in a horse named Walk of Shame. And that brings us to the signature drink of the Derby, the mint julep. Originally a Southern medicinal cocktail, the mint julep was adopted by the Kentucky Derby as its official cocktail in 1938 as a way to keep racegoers cool in the Kentucky heat. Churchill Downs serves over 120,000 mint juleps during Derby weekend alone, which is pretty impressive considering it's just sugar, mint, crushed ice, and a whole lot of bourbon. Now that's what I'm talking about! Woodford Reserve is the presenting sponsor of the Kentucky Derby, which means it gets the owner's share of the national spotlight. Produced at one of the oldest distilling sites in the country and dating back to 1812, Woodford has been synonymous with Derby Day since the official partnership began back in 1999. It's a near flawless bourbon that tastes just as good on the rocks as it does in our classic Derby cocktails. Other official sponsors include Prohibition survivor Old Forester. Founded in 1870, it was the very first bourbon to be sold exclusively in sealed glass bottles, guaranteeing quality at a time when booze could taste a little bit on the funny side. And finally, we have Tequila Herradura, an official sponsor and part of the same Brown-Forman pedigree as Woodford and Old Forester. An historic tequila itself, it has over 150 years distilling history, and it should be your go-to bottle for your horseshoe margaritas. So when you pour these brands on Derby Day, you're not just pouring bourbon, you're pouring history. Oh, and you're pouring tequila. Yeah, you're probably also pouring tequila. So how do we turn this into programming? Get ready to write this down. Mint juleps, old fashions, horseshoe margarita. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 3 iconic cocktails, 3 iconic spirits, and 1 historic event where people already want to drink them. Here's your pitch. Let's feature mint juleps and old fashions, the drinks people expect, with Woodford and Old Forester, the 2 bourbons most closely tied to the Derby. We'll round that out with a Herradura horseshoe margarita to take advantage of the agave craze, and voila! You've got yourself a perfect Derby Day feature menu. Think of it this way. You're giving people what they already want, but you're making it with the best and most thematically accurate spirits possible. And don't forget that the Brown-Forman mix and match combos make this Derby Day deal an absolute no-brainer. Because if you're going to throw a party for a historic event like the Kentucky Derby, you got to bring more to the table than just soup and a sandwich. There was also a horse named Who Farted, but I couldn't figure out how to work that in naturally, So cheers, friends. This has been another installment of The Quick Pour, where we don't just sell, we sell smarter. I'm your resident spirit guide, and until next time, keep raising the bar.